Game Al.
Hello everyone, Big Game Al here, Planet Retro. Thought I'd do something a little bit different this time. I've seen a lot of VR videos going around, video response videos. So I thought I'd start one of my own. So I've decided to go through my top 6 Mega Drive games that I own in my collection. Now the only rule to this is you must actually own the game. That's the only rule. I was going to do 5, but I couldn't narrow down the last one, so I've decided to go top 6, make it a little bit different. And at the end of the video, I'm going to tag 2 people in it. If you can't guess from the thumbnail, you'll know who they are. But yeah, I've spoke to both of them. They're both up for doing a video response, so can't wait to see what their top games are. So I'm going to do mine in alphabetical order, and then at the end of showing you the stuff, I've got little clips of each game to show you a little bit of footage, about a minute long. So yeah, let's see what my top 6 are. And some will probably surprise you. Like I say, these are not like the best games out there. These are not like the most expensive games. These are just 6 games that if I had half an hour spare, I'd pick them up and play them. So first up, we've got Captain America and the Avengers. Right, so this was released in 1993 by Delta East. Captain America and the Avengers. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up / shooter, as you'll see from the footage I put on the end of in a minute. So there are 4 characters you get to pick from. You got Iron Man, Vision, Hawkeye, and of course Captain America. The game has a 1 and 2 player mode with bosses at the end of each levels. There's also a training mode on it, which is like a one-on-one beat-em-up fighter game, which you play with your friends. It only allows you to play it with 2 players. But overall, this is just a pretty fun game just to pick up, put on. I've never completed it. It's pretty tricky. But that's it's not my number 1 game. There's no order for this, but that's my first game I'm showing. Like I say, the only order is they're going to be alphabetical order. So let's have a look at some gameplay footage of it. Next up we have Golden Axe. First released in 1989. So we never got the Mega Drive version over here until 1990. So published by SEGA, and it is a beat 'em up hack and slash. You have 3 characters to choose from in this game. You have Tyrus Flair, who is an Amazon woman, the female character. What's the other one? Gilius Thunderhead. I'm sure that's his name. Gilius Thunderhead, who is the little guy with the axe. The dwarf with the axe. And the main character, who is Axe Battler. And he is a barbarian hero. And the object of the game is to battle your way through several levels to defeat the evil Death Adder, who has taken over Yaris and murdered your friend Alex. And a lot of you are probably thinking, why have I picked this and not Streets of Rage? Growing up, this is the game I played. Although I did have Streets of Rage later on, but this was the main one. And I find, although, to be fair, Streets of Rage probably does have the better gameplay, I think, like, story-wise and stuff, this is brilliant. I do enjoy it. The different characters you can get on these little, you get dragons and stuff in it. You can ride dragons that shoot fire. Although I just find this one better. So you can play it in 1 or 2 players. And there's an arcade mode where you can go through and battle loads of different characters from the game. They all come at you one after the other. But yeah, for like nostalgia wise, this was the game I picked. So it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I do like Golden Axe. So that's the second game. Let's look at some gameplay. Right, number 3, The Lost World, Jurassic Park, by SEGA. This is a late release for the Mega Drive, not coming out until 1997, and is an action-adventure game. Now the graphics on this are amazing, being a 32 meg cart. You play from a bird's eye view, where you fight off the hunters, and you do tasks to capture dinosaurs that are roaming free. There's 4 bosses on the game, I think there's about 17 or 18 levels, well, stages in levels. I think there's 4 levels with a boss at each end, and then there's different stages in between. But yeah, overall it's a great game. There's a password system for it, so at the end of each level, well, at the end of each stage you get a password, obviously not level. You get different weapons on it. You've got tranquilizers, grenades, rocket launchers, machine guns. And you get different vehicles on it. You get like a little car that you can drive around on. When you get to a certain stage, you're on like a little log boat like raft thing, and you've got to dodge these dinosaurs jumping out of the water. It's quite fun. And if you did want to play it with co-op, it's 2 players, so both of you can go around doing the missions together. So yeah, overall that's a good game. My third on the list, and let's check out some gameplay footage for it. Number 4 on the list, Rock and Roll Racing. This was released by Interplay in 1994. It's a racing game, obviously. It's a little bit like Micro Machines, but what makes this different is the music on it. Obviously, being rock and roll, the music on it is absolutely awesome. With great tracks on it such as Bad to the Bone, Paranoid and Born to Be Wild, just to name a few of them. You race on different planets and you earn money from winning the races, and you pick up the money as you go around as well. There's little like blobs of money on the floor you can pick up, and the object is you get the money and you upgrade your car. Try and win as many races as possible. I think there's 10 races per season. You race on different planets. If you win overall, you move on to the next planet. If you don't, you have to repeat that one, and so on. But yeah, so you earn the money, you upgrade your car, make it a bit better, upgrade the weapons on it. You can even buy, there's 3 different cars you can buy on it. But yeah. But most importantly about this is the music. The music is where it's at. There's also a 2-player mode on it, so you can have you and your mate both racing in the races on a split screen. And there's a password system on it, but the only bad thing about the password is if you've upgraded your car a lot and you've earned a lot of money, you do the password, it doesn't save how much money you've earned. So just remember that if you want to come back to it. But overall, great game. Rock and Roll Racing, number 4. Let's check out some gameplay footage of this.
the carnage begin! Snake scores a first-place knockout. Viper finishes...
Next up, number 5. The Mega Drive answer to Turtles in Time. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist. By Konami, of course. Great publisher. Released in 1992. It's an arcade beat 'em up. And you can play 1 or 2 players, which they should have made this one of the multi-tab. I don't know if it actually is, someone might be able to tell me in the comments, but you obviously can get the multi-tab for the Mega Drive. Can you play this 4-player? Because if you can, it will be just like the arcades. But yeah, so it's 1 or 2 player. And the object of the game is to fight your way to the evil Shredder. The evil Shredder, and take back the Hyperstone off him. And save Manhattan as always, because they live in New York. You fight bosses along the way, such as Rocksteady, Baxter Stockman, and Krang, as well as Shredder, and a couple of others. That's just to name a few. But you get to play as all 4 of the different turtles. So you've got Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, or Raphael. All named after painters. But painters and sculptures. There's only 5 levels on it in total. But trust me, this will keep you entertained for absolutely hours. It's unreal. You just go around beating up, and you get extra lives along the way, which you probably will need because it is quite a tricky game. But I'm sure you've all played this or heard of it at least. It's not exactly a cheap game, but it's definitely one that deserves a mention on this list, and I'm sure other people will add this to their top 6 because it is such a great game. So let's check out some gameplay of it. Right, last game on my list, number 6. Truxton. A lot of you won't know, but the Japanese and European version of this was actually published by Taito, whatever you want to call it, and it come out in 1989, and it is a vertically scrolling shooter, vertical shooter. It's based off of the arcades, obviously, but this is very, very hard, this game, but also very addictive. The aim of the game is to destroy the Guidons and save the planet. What they've taken over. They've overtaken your planet. There's 5 levels, or 5 asteroids as they're known in the game. You collect different weapons and power-ups along the way. There's like the standard one that you start with, which is just a load of bullets coming out. Then there's like a green one that's just like a, I don't know, just fires forward a green blob. Or there's the one you see on the front here, the lightning. And I always go for the lightning, which is the blue one, because it's got like a homing device on it. So if you stand like wherever you are on the screen, it will hit the enemy. So yeah, I like the lightning. The lightning is the way forward. But yeah, obviously you're in a spaceship. You got different you get power ups, and you get like that thing. There's the bomb, which you'll see me hit right at the start of the footage because I was testing the buttons because I haven't played for a while. So I wasted the first one. But yeah, I do enjoy my shooters. Not very good at them. So yeah, let's check out the footage for this one. Right, so that's my top 6 favourite Mega Drive games in my collection. Obviously you can see I've got a few. I think the only one who's got a few more than me is old Stu Tooty. He's got a couple of the Australian ones, and I think he's got a few Japanese ones and Genesis ones as well now. But yeah, the only rule for this is you must own a copy of the game. Whether that be, I'm not going to restrict this. You can have an emulation of it if you want. I'm not going to restrict it to physical copies. I'm also not going to restrict it to PAL. You can have Mega Drive or Genesis, as you know, in America. So I'm going to make this open so you can put Japanese games in it, American games in it, Australian games in it, UK games in it, European games in it. I don't care where they're from. As long as they come out on the Mega Drive / Genesis, and you've got some sort of copy of the game. So yeah, I want to make this into a VR response. So I want people to tag people at the end of their videos, but also I'm going to make this an open response. So if you do want to do it, and no one's tagged you, feel free to do it. Join in. But like I said, I've spoken to the 2 people I'm going to tag in this. And the first one I want to tag is Scott Brand, Blue Spine, SEGA Zombie. So I know that Scott loves his Mega Drive, and he's going to pick some right crackers in this. Probably all going to be Blue Spines. But I'm looking forward to see what 6 games he just likes to just pick off the shelf and play. Like I say, they don't have to be the best games, they just have to be your favourite. Just your 6 favourite. Ones you could just sit here right now and go, you know what, I've got half an hour spare, let's go and grab one off the shelf and play it. So yeah, Scott, come on, get your VR out. And secondly, someone who never gets tagged in any VR responses, so I'm going to tag him myself. And that's Stu, TootyUk. So come on, Stu. I know you probably don't play any of your Mega Drive games, but you must have 6 favourites you can pull out. So, yeah, that's my 2 tags. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I've put a lot of work into this, getting all this gameplay footage. And can't wait to see everyone's responses. So, thanks for watching, everyone. And see you in the next one.
I gave you my heart.